Yo, what's up, man? This your boy D, and man, I'm sitting on this porch again, and I'm sitting here with a very special guest, and dude, she sitting with her just a few minutes ago. We was just in the community center a few minutes ago. Hopefully, we could get through this rain without having to go back in the community center. But just sitting with her, she's a woman of accountability. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard to find. And I'm not just saying with women. It's hard to find in our community. Period. Taking accountability. A lot of people look at it as a trendy word nowadays.
Yeah.
Accountability, oh, it's trendy. I take accountability for what I'm doing, and people don't understand what that word really means.
What it really means.
And what you have to do when you saying you taking accountability for something for your actions. So a lot of y'all already know who she is. I say who she is.
It's all good. We're the hood. You know, that's how, listen.
I said who she are. A lot of y'all know who she is, and she came today to sit down on the porch with your boy. Y'all, my girl, Beast, Bridgette Martin.
What's happening?
Sitting on the porch.
On the porch,
She
man.
wearing this. I can't, man, where is my uptown people? I got Mac coming. But where's my uptown people? She wearing this pin that say LG.
LG's to the die
Oh,
man.
man.
Listen, y'all be trying to count us out like we ain't part, you know.
What? All these 7-wall LGs, all these people from other places, man. But anyway, man, thank you for coming to sit on the porch.
No problem.
Thank you for coming to sit on the porch. I know what you're about to bring today is going to be real helpful to a lot of people. So let's just jump into it. Everybody know your story.
Yes.
Everybody know your story.
Hey, man.
The roughness.
The roughness of it all. Yes.
So if you could just briefly just give a rundown of what got you to the point where you are now.
I would first of all say being a black girl in New Orleans, and when I say black, I'm talking dark skin. If you was going to school in the '90s, dark skin, we wasn't.
Y'all wasn't in yet. Y'all wasn't in yet.
So, man, I was a product of being a black girl by two black people. It was every day of being picked on because of my hair texture by my own people, my skin color. I was dark skinned, so you was like, girl, you black burnt biscuit. Words that was just weird. We weren't even the top pick for the boys, back in those days. So it was just being in an environment where you wanted to fit in but didn't fit in, and I went through a lot of self-identity crisis and then feeling like, hey, I wasn't pretty enough. I wasn't one of those girls in my own community. And I carried that into adulthood. I carried that into young adulthood because when I began to excel, I began to, I would say, rebel against that. So when I met a guy and I began to be shapely, oh, now y'all want to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? So now the girls that talked about me, you at the bus stop and I got a car at 28. So now I feel like, yeah, I'm about to take this block just so I can make sure you see me in my car. Not knowing that I was still living in what I wanted them to accept. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be, oh, I was the girl y'all talked about. I had that mentality of, oh, I'm going to show you that I came out of something. But I really wasn't doing it for myself. I was really doing it so they could see the validation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that a lot of people realize most of the movements that we make is not because it's something that always makes you happy. It's something that you want somebody else to say, oh, that's cool.
Right.
She one of them. She that girl. And it took me a long time to realize that my motive was, you know what I'm saying? If you're not motivated because it's something you truly want to do at home, but it's something that you feel like you were forced into by the thoughts of other people, you're going to always move on those thoughts. You're going to always try to do what you think people are going to accept. From hairstyles to clothes to cars to this. Because I asked myself when I was driving my car, I had a car and I placed the queen bee all over the car. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was on the side, it was on the front, it was on the windshield. I had the sound, I had the rims, and it was like I needed to be seen. I was loud.
Right.
even though I wasn't talking.
Right. No, you was loud.
I was
With the car
loud.
and
You know
everything.
what I'm saying? And it was. Oh, I gotta drive around here because I know that's where everybody hangs, so they could see. You know, and I dated. You know, I had a boyfriend who had a job, who had a car, and wasn't even able to identify if he was right for me. Just I was the girl that was always picked over. So now I got somebody. So I took, you know, and that's coming from a girl who have married parents. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have the illusion, you know, you should have a father in your life, but contrary, I did. The difference is I didn't know how to identify who wasn't my father. If you give somebody one side of any coin, they don't know the true story. And when I see my mom and my dad, all I saw was happiness. You know, I saw, not only did I see a father in the home, I saw a husband. So my mom and my dad, they kissed and they hugged and we went to church. So when I went out there gunning, I'm like, oh, I'm going to find my daddy. Not knowing all these niggas ain't my daddy. But I didn't know how to identify the other side. You know what I'm saying?
Man, you know what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? You sitting here saying, you are sitting here actually saying what a lot of people, especially our black women, not just dark-skinned black, I'm talking about black women don't like to identify. That sometimes, yeah, you can be wrong in that pick you made.
Yeah.
It's not always the man. Sometimes it's that he was wrong for you. That was a pick you made that was wrong, and you just gotta say
because you can't make him change.
Mm-hmm.
The only person anyone has the ability to do anything about is self. So when I look at self, I had to look at, did I connect with that person?
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that that person doesn't need to grow? No,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't make them. So the only thing that I can do is identify, why am I connected with this? And we don't struggle just with that with men, we struggle with that with friends.
Right.
And I think that we don't realize we do a lot of damage to ourselves in those two categories just by being connected or giving of us what we think should be connected to. You know what I'm saying? If a lot of people say how can I say this? Know your worth. You know, they'll tell a woman. And as I grow and as I talk to a lot of women to do this work I'm doing, a lot of women know their work. Mm-hmm. A lot of women trying to get the person they're with to see it. She knows she's a good woman. She knows what she's worth. She knows she's loyal. She knows what she brings to the table. She's trying to say, why don't he see it? And I'm staying with him, trying to beat my loyalty into him and show him I'm a good woman. And I'm pouring it and pouring it and pouring it, hoping that he see what I already know about myself. Or afraid that I'm going to have to leave for him to see it. And when he becomes better, the other woman will get the benefit of the work I put in. Most times, the woman he gets after you, you may feel like, how is he treating her this way after all the work I put in? Sometimes that's the casualty of standing up for yourself.
Yeah. And then when you look at the spiritual aspect of it, sometimes that's not who the Lord had for you.
Definitely. And sometimes he wasn't gonna be who he was destined to be as long as you stayed.
As long as you
we
stayed.
put a cape on. We put a cape on, and God is saying, I can't do my work because you're in the way.
I don't mean to hit you, but that's one of the things I do with somebody. I just be.
We put our cape on. You know, we Captain Save Us by default with our friends. Man, if you see these females, if your friend call you and she into something, we don't tell our friend, man, get up out there, man. We put our cape on and jump in our car because we go and save the day.
And we not letting God work.
Sometimes God wants them to hit the ground. He want them to hit the ground.
Now you done started. I don't mean to keep doing that, but you done started preaching already. Man, so, dang. Wow. Dang. So B, look. You done already started putting in some words already. You know what I'm saying? Now, looking at where our communities are right now, especially here in the city. We both from New Orleans.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? We love our city. not just we love our city, we love the people.
We
in
love our people, man.
We love our people. You know what I'm saying? No matter how we feel about them, we love our people.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes our people could be wrong.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? How can us as people could begin to not only take accountability, but actually be able to take those words that's probably hurtful from somebody, that criticism, and look at it and say, you know what, man, you got me. You right, and try to turn and flip that and turn that in and make it a positive thing.
One of my favorite stories in the Bible, a lot of people don't. If anybody that follow me know, this one of my favorite stories is this woman who was caught in the act of adultery. Mm-hmm. And there's in the passage where they caught her in the act of adultery and they brought her before Jesus to accuse her. Mm-hmm. And every time you hear this story, you hear people say, see, they couldn't accuse her because God, Jesus said he without sin cast the first stone, right? So everybody say nobody couldn't cast a stone because who are you to judge her? But what they don't realize is God never said she was right either. Mm-hmm. Right. Jesus never stopped and said, oh, she was doing what she's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. In that story, what a lot of people miss is she was quiet when she was being accused because they had a right. The question that I have to a lot of people is, why are we talking when they got us when they got us right? We talk too much when people got us right because we are trying to defend something that don't need to be defended. If they got you, they got you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she sat quiet through that whole passage. When I read it, she sat quiet while they was accusing her. Because how could she defend what she knows she was doing? Mm-hmm. What we don't realize is the first step is stop trying to defend it. Even if you don't say nothing, don't defend it. Mm-hmm. The first sign of embarrassment is always self anyway. Always self-embarrassment. Man, nobody had to tell me I was stupid over that, man. I felt that every day. That was self-embarrassment, man. That was self-embarrassment. Like looking at myself like, B, you know better. What's wrong with you? Who are you? And so to sit with yourself and being embarrassed of self, I couldn't even face the world because I couldn't face me.
Oh, man, damn. Wow.
Wow. My first step, I would always say, is stop. Let it hit you. And that's hard because I went through that moment where I looked in the mirror and everything ugly that I not only did, but allowed to happen, I spoke it to myself.
So, all right. How can someone begin to let these kind of words hit them? I'm not a good parent, and you know you haven't been doing your job as a parent. How can you begin to feel like, how can you correct when somebody's saying, man, you was a terrible son growing up?
I would say, in my personal opinion, is in order to do that, you kind of skipping a step.
Go ahead.
And the step that I say is to love on first. Meaning, we in the hood right now. If I sit here on this porch every day and I see that young lady every day, no matter if she got on a short skirt, what she doing? Good morning, sweetheart, girl, you're so pretty today, girl, you looking good. God, and every day I drill it in her. I have opened her guard to let her know she's something. She's somebody. I see her. And I see her beyond the short skirt. I see her beyond the hair. I see her behind all of the boys that's probably she jumping in cars with. That ain't what I identified first. I identified her and that she's beautiful. So now the door has been opened because people got to know you mean well. That's the scary part. And there's a defensiveness with us, which is something we have to correct because the truth is for you. But people don't know if you mean well. People don't know what's your motive. Especially in a world where you'll see people tell you the truth on purpose to hurt your feelings. There's a slogan that says truth without compassion is brutality.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people, even guilty in the church, who have taken God's word or taken the truth, but I'm going to beat you up with it. when the truth was never meant to be a weapon. It was meant to be a corrector. And correction is love. But if I don't show you that I love you in the correction,
I'm not gonna accept it.
no, indeed, I'm not even open to you talking to me. I'm defensive on you talking to me. But once I open that door, you know, and let you know that I don't see what everybody sees first. Yes, I see it, but that ain't what I'm identified with first. If my first identifying with you is what you do wrong, and there's something in you that's not watering the good seed, you already defensive. I always say water the good seed. For every little boy that's out here shooting, toting guns, cursing and disrespectful, he know how to play basketball, maybe. He know how to draw. But if I don't water that, and all I focus on is the attention of what he's doing wrong, that's what's going to feed him, because that's what I'm feeding. Nobody's feeding the good seed that's in him. So if I feed the good seed, think about a coach in football, basketball, anything. They could dribble the ball, they good. That don't mean all them little boys know how to read, they respectful. But as I drill into you how good you are at basketball, when I got to come in that class and correct you, I already put my foot in on your good seed. So now the door is open for me to correct the bad seed. And so I just think that there's a lack of loving on first. And it's coming from the top. Our elders was mean. Our elders was mean. If you think about it, they were gutter butt truth. Nothing wrong with telling the truth.
Girl, you don't know what you just did. I'm telling you right now, girl, you don't have no clue in what you just did.
They loved us, but they were mean.
I know, but man, you know what you just said? Think of you just hit in on something that's forbidden in our culture to talk about our elders.
Yeah.
And for you, this is the way I saw it. It's the way I saw it. I always said I thought our elders taught us wrong. A lot of things that they taught us, it was wrong. Meaning some of the slogans we live by, like one of them, I always say I feel that was a teaching wrong, was what goes on in my house.
I knew that's what you was about to say.
Stays in my house.
Definitely.
Because that right there kept a lot of molestation going on in the house. Kept a lot of friction.
Definitely.
That was going on.
Favoritism.
It kept a lot of it just kept a lot of generational curses going on inside our community.
That we didn't even think were curses.
Right.
Yep. And we didn't even think were curses. You can't break a curse you don't think is a curse.
Right.
So you carrying it from generation to generation because it's normalized. That story I just told you in the Bible where the woman was caught in the act of adultery. When Jesus said he without sin cast the first stone, a lot of people don't know the next scripture says everyone dropped their stones, starting first with the elders. A lot of people don't know that when I read that for myself as an adult, and I said the first scripture after he said he without sin cast the first stone, and the Bible says that everyone began to drop their stones, starting with the elders. I said, why was that so significant? Why was that significant to put there? The elders had to drop their stones first, because if anybody don't have room to throw a stone first, it's y'all. You know, I laugh because I had a conversation with an elder in my family, and it stuck. It stuck up, but I was grown. You know, we were grown and we were having a conversation. And elders tend to be very not just vocal, but aggressively vocal about what they think. And you know, these youngsters having these babies and this and this and this, and I'm saying y'all had 16, 17 with 1 or 2 bedroom houses. Like, what are we saying? Y'all weren't all married? Shotgun marriages was created to cover up fornication. If we're going to talk, let's have some honesty here. A lot of our mamas and dads were from multiple different people, some in which y'all didn't know, and they were products of being molested. For men, y'all didn't leave.
And dude, the crazy part of what you are saying right now is the fact that when you go back in some of our family histories, you find out that some of our mamas were the side piece, and you like, damn, man, you had me, or you had this one, my brother or sister, and you was, and it's like now you sitting here like you holding it down,
Yep.
saying, why you, and it's like,
The truth of the matter is because your hurt have never been vindicated. A lot of our elders' hurt have never been vindicated. You know, so when you live with that hurt and there was no vindication for the hurt, or there was no acknowledgement of the hurt, you grew up with the hurt, raising kids in it. So I think a lot of times our parents, because I actually did this with an elder in my family. I sat down with, I said, who hurt you? What hurt you? Because nobody ever, in a black community especially, gave us time to stop and be hurt. If this man came and he just punched you in the face after you caught him with his other woman and y'all got kids together, but you still got to be at work for 3 o'clock, when did you stop and take that in and even deal with that? You couldn't afford to. Because I got to go to work and these kids still got to go to school and they still got to do homework, and I got football practice and basketball practice, and I got to take this $100 and split it between gas and a loaf of bread and some dishwashing liquid. And I never even got nobody to take in what just happened to me because nobody even gave me time to. Nobody ever even gave time to. Most of the time, the hurt was never validated or vindicated. Most of the time, we'd move on with apologies we never received. So our parents are vicariously parenting through hurt that nobody ever even stopped and acknowledged. And they are too prideful to lay it down and say, I'm hurting. Because the person who hurt them didn't care. You got most people who feel, once a significant person hurt me, I don't have a chance with nobody else. Have you ever heard a child say, if my own mother don't love me, why do I think anybody else will? When that's not a true statement. But they feel like the person who birthed me didn't give me that. So where can I go and find it? I don't even believe it exists.
Damn.
It's a cycle. And I think us in this 30, 40 range, we are breaking the cycle. But we actually had to go backwards first. We had to go talk to our parents. I did a seminar with young females, and I asked them to take a piece of paper and write down every hat that they wear. And meaning, are you a mom, are you a sister, are you a daughter, are you a friend? And I don't even think they realized how many hats that they wear. You carry that every day. Every single hat, every title that you carry, you gotta wear that every single day. On top of the fact that who molded you into being this person? Who molded you? You know, and most of us are molded by hurt.
Wow.
Most of us.
Wow. So, because most of us we grew up in families where we were hurt a lot, right? And we carried that hurt till we was adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't. But as an adult now, we don't know how to identify that hurt. You know what I'm saying? And I guess we have become so dependent on playing the victim with that hurt, and we don't know we playing the victim most of the time.
I think we only play the victim. You can be the victim and the culprit at the same time. You can be a victim of something, but you can also be a participant in why it happened. I was a victim in being mistreated by someone I was in love with, but I also didn't stand up for myself, allowed it, made excuses for it. So I was a victim to it, but I also was a key player in why it kept going. And I think that people want to be victims only because it makes them face sympathy, not honesty.
Ooh.
See, a lot of people like sympathy. You know what I'm saying? Sympathy gives you the area in which you can coddle under any hand that you played in your situation. And most of the time, no matter if you only played 10%, you played a portion of some of the demise in which you have or some of the demise in which you keep. Because even if you were a victim to something, you have the ability not to keep it. You have the ability. You have the willpower. It's difficult. And I think a lot of people take, people say it's easier said than done. I never said it was easy, but you making it seem like it's impossible. Easy and impossible is two different things. And I think that we don't realize we use it as a crutch, because there is nothing more powerful than unloading the emotional gun that nobody can shoot you with. Nobody, bro. Like,
man, that.
When you face, yeah, you hurt me, yeah, you lied, yeah, I did this. You just took every bullet out of any emotional gun anybody could shoot you with. You can't even use that against me. You can't use that against me. My daddy wasn't there. My mom was on drugs. Whatever, whatever somebody could say to you, you have the power to unload that gun. It only works because it still shoots you. It only works because it still shoots you.
Wow, man. Oh.
So if I can give a step, the first I would say is love on people. Anywhere I go, church, in the hood, I speak. I break the ice of the awkwardness, because I don't want to say what needs to go on in my community. I want to be what needs to go on in my community. And so if I start speaking, it's become a ripple effect that sometimes it look like, girl, let me speak to her before she speak to me, because I know she gonna speak. That's fine. That's fine. After church, my children laugh at me because they say we gonna go sit in the car because she gonna go hug everybody. Good. I am.
Wait, hold on, wait. So in church home, when you that one that I'm going to speak to everybody.
Right? Hey, how you been? Yay. Yes. You know why? Because somebody needed it. If I hugged 100 people, one of the 100 needed somebody to say, how you doing? Somebody needed the hug. And I watched it become a ripple. So the people I hug start tending to hug other people. Mm-hmm. So I just started the ripple. I just, press the water and watch, as they go. And I learned that from my grandmother. Shouts to my grandmother, Bobby G. Man, listen.
It's something about that grandmother with two first names.
Listen, Bobby G, man, listen. My grandmother just made 83 on the 25th, wow. Man. Oh, wow. Still driving, still kicking, still moving. Oh, wow. She was an special ed assistant elementary school teacher in Algiers. She retired as an educator. And she lived in the Fisher Project and bought her house from the Fisher Project, moved out the Fisher Project, and bought her home in Truman Park. And for a lot of people who don't know, do your research. Truman Park is one of the oldest neighborhoods where black people were able to purchase homes. It was Pontchartrain Park and Truman Park.
Right, I know about Pontchartrain.
Truman Park is actually a little small subdivision right on the side of the Fisher Project, right where Mara Henderson sat. Oh. There's two side streets. It was founded around the time Harry S. Truman was president, and that's why it's called Truman Park. Which is why I'm coming for you, Freddie King, because that area needs to be built up. One of the, God rest her soul, Miss Miley, she just died this year. She was 103. One of the oldest living residents of Algiers who lived in Truman Park. And so right. That's all our grandmothers, aunts, lived back there, bought homes, and that was a time where you used the public housing system to move up. Right. So my grandmother lived on Hendy Court and purchased a home from living in the Fisher Project. Okay. And everybody is her neighbor. Somebody died in the community, all the community come together, put in for a flower, they sang, They still, you know, I got a pan of macaroni. I got to, you know, and I get that from her.
Right, right. See, when you just said Hindi court, I was like, man, I remember when I had Ashanta Wide on it, Dr.
My
Wide on
dog.
it. She was talking about some doggone Hindi court.
Ooh,
And then you go with the daggone Hindi
Listen,
court.
if you talk to Dr. White and you don't hear about the Fisher, you ain't got a real interview. Period.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Because that's the grassroots.
She talking about some Hindi court. I'm like, girl, if you don't get off my porch with the dog, you in the Magnolia. You
Yeah.
talking about Clara.
She gonna be in Snatchganistan. She gonna bring up Hindi court. We gonna bring up LGS, man. Listen, first of all, to even be a doctor with the highest degree in education coming from the project, you can't do nothing but tip your hat to her. You know what I'm saying? You can't, and she is the epitome of what you can be from the product of what you come from. And that's why you go back into the community. So when you sit up here and you say, what can I do to break the cycle, is I go become something and come back to my hood and show them what I've become. I think that the vulnerability of us will be the breaking of the ice of our children. Our children need to know the bad choices, the rough decisions in which we persevere from. Because I think a lot of times our children see the perseverance, but not the perseverance from. Because we live to show what we are, not what it came from. Even if you think about slogans in the church, you know, they'll say, God has brought me from a mighty long way, or he's a bridge over troubled water. But those are slogans that don't give detail. So when people find out, man, I was shot 4 times, you know, or something, and you say, Pastor,
is a difference.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference because when you think about it, all the people that was ever used in the Bible, except for Jesus was the only perfect man in the Bible. But everybody else who was used in the Bible, all his disciples,
toe up.
Had in today's world, they'd be called niggas.
Oh yeah.
They'd be called, in today's world, it'll be like, man, that nigga out there bad.
And let me tell you
he used them
every time. But let me throw a bug in a lot of people's ear. He used them for the very place that they were messed up in. He didn't send Paul persecuted Christians and he sent them to save Christians. He didn't send them to save the other people. I'm gonna send you right back to where you caused the pain. And so when people look at it and say, what qualifies you? People say that what qualifies me speaks. I done had a failed marriage. I was a horrible parent. And I'm saying that's what qualified me, bro. That's what qualified me. The best person to tell you to not smoke crack is a crackhead. Stop trying to look at the person who didn't do it and look at the living example of what they don't want you to become. I use a story like this. Me and you neighbors, bro. And I'm living across the street. And I got a bunch of old junked up cars in my yard, front yard, backyard. And you my neighbor. And I see you go to, I see you get 2 cars. You got them in front of the door. Then the next week, I see you get another car. And then by the 3rd week, I see you got 2 more. I go knock on the door. I'm like, man, you better chill out with buying them cars. Your first thing gonna be, man, how you gonna tell me, look at your yard? And I'm gonna tell you, that's why I can tell you, because your yard about to look like my yard if I don't tell you. Don't look at the person because of the mistakes, because the mistakes is what qualify me to stop you from making the same ones. That's my job. But when you look at the Bible, that's what the Bible did. Moses was in Pharaoh's court persecuting Hebrews and had to go back and free the same people. Think about the cross. 2 thieves was on the cross, but 1 thief corrected the other thief while they was up there. He was like, man, Jesus, look, you heard me? If you who you say you is,
I'm with you.
You heard me?
I'm with you.
Free yourself.
No, the other one was like, free yourself, and then
your boy, but your boy checked the other one first. You're like, bro, you know who this is?
Look,
and I'm with
remember
him.
me and Kit in your paradise. You know what I'm saying?
But he had to correct the thief, and I'm a thief. I'm hanging up here with you, and I'm still about to check you. Right. Because I know what we did.
I know what we did. And that was powerful.
I'm attached to women because I know what the pain feel like of depression. Thoughts of suicide, man, thoughts of homicide. I didn't set out for pulling guns on people. I know what that feel like when you feel like somebody testing you and you feel like walking away is beating you up, so I gotta go show them, and then you go and sit there and you going, you know, you got a point to prove. You know, I know what that feel like. I know what it feel like to sit up there and make unwise decisions with money and got 2 mouths to feed. I know what it feel like to have to live with family members that make you feel like they don't want you there. So the way I talk is not because I ain't been there, it's because I've been there. It's because I know what it feel like. It's because I'm still growing. There's no graduation in growth. There's no graduation and growth. Stop looking like, oh, this person made it. No, I'm climbing, and I'm saying follow my step ladder as I'm climbing. And guess what? One day, I'm going to be pulling your hand up, and one day you might get close to me and say, come on, B, keep going. That's the job.
So in other words, what you're saying is, let me see if I got this right. What you're saying is, healing is an everyday thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a sprint. I mean, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
So when you say I'm healed, nah,
I'm healing.
Healing
Every
is an
single
everyday
day.
thing.
Because there's only 3 points in life. You either just coming out of a storm, you're in the middle of one, or you're on your way to one. That's the circle of life. As soon as I fix the washing machine to dry, you're going to break. Soon as I fix it. Soon as I fix the carburetor, the school about to call me about one of these kids. That's the cycle. So soon as I master, and the crazy part is, mastery sometimes even comes in the midst of one element. I had 2 kids. So you can't think that you master parenting because you probably mastered it with one child. But you got a totally different personality, bro.
Another one coming. Another one.
Another personality, a whole different way of even being. And them children be 2 different people. So why you think, man, I got this one. Here you come with this child bad, make you laugh. I never forget the first time I snuck outside and got caught as a child.
Come on. Bro. Wait. Come on.
Snuck outside trying to steal a little boy, man. My oldest sister had already snuck outside. And my mama was sitting in the living room waiting on her and didn't know I was outside.
Ooh.
So
You thinking.
I'm coming through there thinking I'm sneaking in. And my mama hit the light. And my mama said, no lie, she turned around, she said, Jesus, I'm waiting on one daughter and here goes the other daughter. Lord, what I'm gonna do? She didn't even know I was gone. So it's like she's saying, I thought I had problems with just one. But now I'm realizing I got an issue with another one. Lord, while I'm trying to master one, here go another one. You know, and it's every day.
Right.
I became a parent after learning how to become a parent. I had to admit, because my children got 2 different parents from me. Because the parent that birthed my son was not the parent that birthed my daughter. I was a totally different person. But then that drew a rift with my children because my daughter got a better version of a parent. Because my firstborn got the rough version of me, the unstable version of me.
And firstborn got the unstable of the parents, the rough version of the other parents.
So I'm sitting there while I'm not being stable financially, jumping from job to job, still clubbing, still partying. He is the product of that. So when I gotta move and we gotta keep moving, and he gotta move schools, I'm not pouring into him. And now that I grow up and become better, here I come having a daughter, and now I'm being at all her events, and so now my son gotta watch, and she gets the parent that he didn't receive. And I had to sit down with my son and apologize to my son and say, I had you in responsibility. So you became a casualty of my irresponsibility. And I apologize for that, because I owed you a better chance in life by waiting to have you in a time where I was a productive person to be your parent. But from here on out, I'm going to fight to be the mother you need. And every day we went to therapy. I wrote him letters, and my son struggled in education, but he struggled longer because when I first realized he was struggling in education, I wasn't a great parent. So he wasn't getting the development he needed because I wasn't being who I needed to be. So I learned to be a mama when he's in 6th grade. So I got all them years of damage that I left hanging in the balance. So now I'm playing catch up, trying to give him the skills that he needs. As soon as we get the 6th grade him, now I got to learn the 8th grade him and the 12th grade him. And, and coming to a school that's telling me he wouldn't be able to read comprehend past the 8th grade. This is what they told me about my son, and my son developed a delay in learning ability. He wouldn't be able to articulate himself. And now I'm sitting here as a mother who now wants to be responsible with the guilt of what all the years I was too drunk, too drinking, too clubbing and sleeping with people to be his mother.
Man, but you know, that's accountability. That's accountability. When you're able to sit in it, no matter how much it hurts.
No matter how much it hurt, and no matter how much work it takes to fix it.
Because you got to fix it.
You got to fix it. How would I make him a productive husband and send him into society to be with one of your daughters that way? And he's 21 years old by the grace of God. Never had no problems. Never been to jail. Don't smoke weed. Graduated high school. So I thank God for that. But we still struggle. And him being able to verbalize himself, or if he sits with you, he could have a hood conversation, but struggle to have an educational conversation. So if he wanted to go have a job interview with an executive board, he didn't develop those skills on learning how to talk, and I didn't make sure he did. I was so busy playing catch up on the basics. So guess what? We do it now. I sit with him every day. We go over interview skills. We go over learning skills. And guess what? I call men. Every uncle I got, listen, man, look, I ain't got it. There is a space for a man that I cannot do. I call my uncle, I call my daddy, and I need all y'all, because everybody don't have the answer. But if I get a little bit from you and a little bit from you and a little bit from you to develop him into being a great person, I'm all for it, because that's the goal.
Yo, we about to ran out of time.
That's cool.
We about to ran out of time. Wow, man, oh man, this lady is powerful. I'm telling you, sister, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
man, because we have a lot of people in our community that's good with sweeping stuff under the rug.
Definitely.
And good with still patting somebody on the back, but sweeping stuff under and just pushing it along. For you to sit here and show people, for you to sit here and talk, not just show, but actually do the work and showing, man, I had to take accountability. That's a big thing. And for you to do it, and then for you to be able to talk about it and tell people, look, I went through that.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah. And I'm a possession of anybody I'm around. I think one of the greatest things I love about myself, though it hurts, is I'm willing to lose you to love you right. I'm not going to be the friend that brings you to the fight. I'm going to be the friend that tells you this ain't the way. I'm going to be the friend that says, man, you going to leave out the house with your kids to go entertain that? I'm going to be that friend, because I honestly believe that the support of the ignorance is why it keeps going. If we had people who loved you, that pushed you harder to become what you should be, instead of supporting what you already are, we would be better people. We stay stuck, and we surround ourselves with people who keep us stuck.
Yo.
So, if I could tell you anything to start is, first start with looking at you. Grade your own paper. You ain't gotta
you gotta look at your neighbor.
Nah, you gotta look at grade your own paper.
And I'm talking about graded harshly.
Graded for real.
No, don't give me no curve. Don't do no curve on nothing.
Nah,
graded for real. Look at it and
grade your own paper, man. And you're gonna see, and you're gonna begin to be hungry for the difference. The more I changed, the hungrier I was for it. I watch myself delete certain people and go follow certain pages. I'm in multiple support groups on Facebook. Don't ever have the illusion that it ain't out there. It's out there. I struggle with PTSD. I've struggled with depression. And you know what I went did? I joined groups on social media of hundreds of women who support each other in that. But that's what I went looking for.
Because you were ready.
Yeah. And the war and your stomach ain't the same. It's like when you become vegan and then you try to go eat a rally burger, you gonna throw it up, bro, because your stomach can't even stomach that stuff no more. The more you feed yourself, take the baby steps, but the more you feed yourself, you're going to watch your appetite change. Your emotional appetite, your spiritual appetite, your mental appetite is going to change. Certain conversations you ain't even going to have. People going to call you. You'll be like, man, I don't want to hear that. It's going to burn. It's like kryptonite to you. It's a Superman.
Yeah, I know how, like,
man, I don't want to hear all that.
You ain't lying, because it's a lot of things that I see on social media, and I'll be like, man, why you even put that up there? And I just keep scrolling, because my thing is this here. We always say, oh, New Orleans is this. Look what they doing. But people are only gonna continue to put those videos up because somebody hitting that like button.
Entertainment.
Somebody commenting in the comment. Whether it's good or bad, I feel like this here. Even if I wanted to say something positive about it, I'm not gonna even interject on it, because as long as I say something,
it keeps the flowing of the negativity going.
Exactly.
The seed of ignorance only grows when it's watered by attention. The seed of ignorance only grows when it's watered by attention.
Man, we gonna end that on that note. You gotta come back.
Definitely.
You gotta come back.
Chilling on the porch.
Yeah, you gotta come back.
In Magnolia.
Yeah, I ain't coming to LG.
Ain't that cool?
Yeah, you can.
Shout out to my boy finishing look.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
He got all the hoods. He got the hats. He got the pins. Get at him.
That's dope. But we ain't coming in LG.
That's fine.
We ain't coming.
Well, keep that same energy for Nanta. Oh, you come over there for Nanta? Oh, so you won't come when it's Nanta? Okay. I was just wondering, you know. I was just wondering, you know. Make Algiers great again. Man.
You know what? I'm not even gonna dignify that with an answer. Man. But man, this was dope. I really enjoyed every bit of it.
Man.
I enjoyed every bit of it. And like I said, we're gonna do this again.
Definitely gotta link again.
I'm gonna hold you to this.
Hold me to it.
I'm gonna hold you to this. We're gonna link again. Thank you again for coming
Oh,
down.
we
fam now. It's over. We fam. Whenever you come to the porch, you fam. Everybody leaving, you fam now.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? But I enjoyed myself. I really did.
Enjoyed the convo.
Yeah, cause you was on one today. You was on one today.
I want my people to win.
Yeah,
I want my people to win.
Yeah, you was on one today, man. My girl was on one today. You know, and I give credit where credit's due. Even though she from Algiers, Hindi Court, Fisher Project, and
over the home all night.
You know, I'm gonna give credit where it's
LB
due.
Landry Craig. Yay.
Oh God, LB Landry. Oh,
a black doctor. Come on, give him credit.
No. The name is. I'm all for the name. The black doctor, LB Landry.
Hey.
Lord, it's Lord.
Beaconsfield.
Beaconsfield Landry. I'm all for that. Cause I read the story on his name and I was like, Lord, I wish they could have put his name on Fauché and not on Landry and put it on. Put his name on Fauché.
His name should be in some school books, but we
don't.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. And they won't give him that little funky little plaque on what you call him. I'm like, man, he needs something bigger than that little funky plaque.
More.
You know what I'm saying? That funky little plaque they gave him. I'm like, man, I say, bro, you need to talk to Freddie King. And we don't he run Algiers? He need to. Yeah. Cause I'm with Lord Landry. I'm with him. I'm with LB Landry. You know what I'm saying? So Freddie King, we after you, boy. We coming for you. Yeah. We coming for you. We coming for you. But man, this was fun. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
We'll be back on the porch. Get back to sitting on the porch. Talk to your neighbors. Get to know your neighbors. Cause all you learn about your hood is from the porch.
I think somebody trying to take my spot, man. I'm about to kick her ass off my porch.